Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Help for the Guiltless. My name, of course, is Antoine, and welcome to the third installment of Magic Gate. I really hate that term. I don't like the gate on the end of anything. I think it's ridiculous. It's been too much. I can call it Magicocalypse, or no, that doesn't sound right. Magigeddon. I'm going to call it Magigeddon. Armageddon, magic, same thing. Everything is falling down around us. But I do have to give Wizards of the Coast some credit. They did come out with a press release, sort of. Necessarily a press release. It's more or less a official statement from a WotC's staff member. Only not really an official statement from WotC's staff because it's on a personal Twitter account. And it's not really a press release. Basically, it's 4.5 tweets. But there's a lot to describe in it and a lot to go through. Okay, not really. Here, let me just read it and we can deal with the idiocy afterwards. From Elaine Chase. Recently, misinformation circulated on social media regarding Wizards' policies, event staffing, and Magic judges. Safety at Magic events is our top priority. We have a zero-tolerance policy for sex offenders. Our standard and long-standing practice is to suspend offenders from the DCI and/or remove stalls from the WPN. Magic judges, a fan-run community and separate from WotC, regularly post anniversary blogs, which sometimes include erroneous anniversaries for former judges not currently certified, either because of lapsing certification or an active decertification due to conduct. Retailers and tournament organizers are responsible for staffing events they run and are required to comply with the laws. We will continue to work with retailers and tournament organizers to ensure safe and inclusive communities. Proper channels for reporting misconduct are as follows. Judge misconduct to the Judges Conduct Committee at magicjudgefeedback@gmail.com and retailer or player misconduct to investigations@wizards.com. So, that was a load of bullshit. Let's go through it real quick. Recently, misinformation was circulated on social media. The only information that's being circulated on social media happens to be coming from Jeremy, from Unsleeved Media. The only misinformation that I think that they could even garner from anything that Jeremy is proposing is quite simply that Wizards of the Coast is not responsible for the Judges program. They're not affiliated, and in not being affiliated, Wizards does not have to take responsibility. Now, safety at Magic events is their top priority, which is not necessarily true because of the fact that all that they do is tell a separate company to make sure that they follow the laws. Here we say the Magic judges, a fan-run community and separate from WotC, regularly post anniversary blogs which sometimes include erroneous anniversaries for former judges, not currently certified either because of lapsing certification or active decertification due to conduct. Now, if you came to this video expecting me to espouse some knowledge that I have about the judges, you've come to the wrong place. I will be linking both of Jeremy's videos about the judges down below. He does an amazing job of doing what he needs to do, which is putting the information out there. I don't have any inside information on it, so I am not going to even remotely pretend I know what's going on. What I can talk about is the goings-on and how things work. So let's talk about this real quick, the whole fan-run community thing. So, WotC is, right now, Elaine Chase, a representative of Wizards of the Coast and their staff, is basically telling everyone who's reading this that the judges have nothing to do with Wizards of the Coast. They are their own entity. So here's how this breaks down. Wizards of the Coast tells Channel Fireball, okay, you now have the monopoly on running the tournaments on the weekend. All the Grand Prix are going to be the big thing. Star City Games is no longer a problem. Get your venues in order, get your ticket sales, get your whatever you need to do, and run it. That's pretty much all that WotC says. It is now left to Channel Fireball to not only find the venues that they're going to use, but contact the Judges Association to get volunteers. Now, they say they follow the laws of the land. Again, that is not true because most laws in the United States of each state requires volunteers, especially if they're going to be doing things around children, to have an updated background check. Here's how this works from Channel Fireball's perspective. Channel Fireball finds whatever city they're going to be in next, puts a call in to the Judges Association, says we're going to be in Dallas, Texas. We're expecting 1,000 players. We need that many judges. Channel Fireball secures the venue, puts the call out for volunteers, staffs themselves, and then opens the door to the public. Who's responsible for the judges? Well, because the judges are volunteers, it's not Channel Fireball, and it's not WotC. As a matter of fact, it's not even the Judges Association, because there's no real way to determine who is becoming a judge. All you have to do is take a couple tests. You sign up, you link your DCI number, and you pass the tests, and ta-da, you are now a judge. So, why is this all bullshit? Because according to state laws, that venue is responsible for anything that happens during the event. Thus why they hire security. And their security goes through background checks, thorough background checks, to make sure that they are able to be around all sorts of people, that they are also able to hold weapons and do their job. According to the law, Channel Fireball and WotC and the venue organizers themselves are covered because their staff has a background check. All of this is bullshit. All of it. There is a racket going on with WotC. Now, WotC is stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. The rock being they're in a class action lawsuit with the Judges Association. Because the Judge Association is saying, we are your employees, you need to pay us. Because WotC just pays them in product. Non-transferable product, but product nonetheless. The hard place is, with all of the exposure of, I think we're up to 19 different pedophiles now, or sexual assaulters, or rapists, or whatever we're going to call them. I think we're up to 20. If WotC settles with the judges in the class action lawsuit, the stipulation is that they will be accepted as employees. WotC was thinking of settling. Now they can't. Because if they accept and they take the judges on as employees, they also have to take on the culpability and liability of everything the judges have done, which is why they've remained silent as long as they have, which is also why they're having Elaine Chase do this from her personal Twitter account, because it gives them plausible deniability. Say this thing falls through, this whole ordeal with Elaine Chase's statement gets tremendous backlash. Well, now WotC and the heads at WotC can say, we didn't know she was going to do that. Don't worry, we'll suspend her and she will be dealt with personally. And I'm just doing a basic rundown and not an in-depth thing because there's other things I want to get to. Here's the kicker of all of this hinky nature. WotC has distanced themselves from the Judges Association by declaring them a fan-run community separate from Wizards of the Coast. Except Wizards of the Coast sanctions all of those judges. Wizards of the Coast understands that all of those judges are required to be at any major tournament or even something as simple as an FNM. Any event, any tournament with 8 or more players has to have at least one judge. Has to. If they are not there, if there is not a judge there, it is not recognized as an actual event by Wizards of the Coast and the DCI. That means all the incentives and all the bonuses that that game store would get from having a sanctioned event go by the wayside. Which means the local game stores have an incentive to make people judges, according to the WPN. Isn't this all amazing? I mean, seriously. WotC distanced themselves from the judges program while simultaneously making sure that every event that you go to that has to do with Magic the Gathering has a Wizards of the Coast sanctioned judge. It is a requirement. All of the problems that we're having with the judges right now in the judges program could be solved in an instant with one small grouping of text. When you sign up to be a judge, in the terms of service, I guess you would call it, you must provide your own background check. It's very simple to get one. A normal, everyday background check is anywhere from $10 to $20 at local police station. It's not that hard. All you have to do is go get one. Anyone who doesn't have a background check, a clean background check, I guess you're not a judge anymore. And it would solve all of WotC's problems. Well, the problems that they're having with pedophiles running rampant in their judges program. That brings me to the stars of the video. These people who have taken it upon themselves to defend WotC's statement that Jeremy is lying. Now, this first one comes from Commanderin, because that's so clever. We stand with Gem, which is Gem of Magic, Wizards, the Judge Program, and countless others. Anyone trying to tie the Magic Judge community to a pedophilia conspiracy is not just a disgusting person, they're just doing it to get more clicks and harm our entire community. Be better than that. Commanderin! I'm leaving your Twitter handle right there. Commanderin. Conspiracy usually has to do with a form of accusation without proof. Tinfoil hat things. I understand that you really don't understand what you're talking about. I understand that you are a mealy-mouthed piece of shit. But here, let me clear something up for you about this misinformation and conspiracy. Jeremy has fucking proof. He has done the vetting of the names. He has the court cases. He has the convictions. They're not accusations. They are convictions. And the fact that you believe that just because it is coming from a certain person, that it is a conspiracy, shows how much of a giant piece of steaming fecal matter that you are. And that's just the one thing I have for Commanderin. The one that I'm going to have fun with is Stelios Kargotis. Now, I have never run into an actual White Knight. I have never actually come across someone who says that they're going to be a protector of anything. But Stelios, that strapping beanpole of a man right there, is an ex-level 2 judge. On top of that, he is, as he states, a protector of his Magic community and an amateur board gamer. I don't know what an amateur board gamer is. Have you never played one before? Because if you've played more than 2 games of Monopoly, you're no longer an amateur. And that he's adding value wherever he can. Keep that last part. Keep it in mind. It's going to be fun. Let's see him add some value. The first one, he's talking to someone we all know. He's talking to Lo-Fi. Well, the next person to run a campaign of terror against a pillar in the community and shitpost constantly will, I'm sure, will be banned for life like Jeremy. To say I'm an imbecile is not really looking at the facts, but opinions not based on fact are inaccurate. Like saying someone is running a campaign of terror. A couple of tweets and a short fucking mention in a live stream is not a campaign of terror. Making fun of someone in a couple of videos is not a campaign of terror, Stelios. He's not causing terror. And anyone who actually thinks like Jeremy does should be banned for life because they want to shitpost. Yes, you are definitely adding value to this community. Humorous value, idiotic value, but value nonetheless. Now, let's go to the next one. Again, he's still talking to Lo-Fi. Lo-Fi says, and no, I'm not saying you are a misogynist. I'm even being a nice person, handing out an olive branch and saying maybe the words used were poorly chosen for a reason or another. And if Lo-Fi is being nice, it means she's really trying. Stelios, in grand fashion, says, "You might not be okay with my language, and I make no apologies for that, but to label it misogynistic is an outright lie. You aren't looking at the facts, nor are you acknowledging them. Cognitive dissonance is a thing, because he has it. He doesn't understand it, but he has it. This is the same exact thing that they've labeled Jeremy. There's no actual facts behind it. It's his opinion. They've just labeled it misogynistic. And Jeremy makes no apologies about it. Oh my god, Stelios and Jeremy should be BFFs. He doesn't want to be labeled a misogynist because of his language, because he believes he is not a misogynist. Guess what? Jeremy doesn't believe he's a misogynist either, and he doesn't believe his language is misogynistic. I don't believe my language is misogynistic, but I've been labeled one too. I love women. That's not misogyny. Let's go to the next one. Stelios says, "I'm sorry. Did giving Jeremy a small taste of his medicine, a fraction of shitposting, somehow is unacceptable? What planet are you on? He's been at this for months on end. There are Reddit threads listing deleted tweets, misogyny, and transphobic comments. Seriously, it's not okay." I've already talked about the taste of his own medicine thing in the last video, so I don't want to go on that rant again. Stelios, darling, I want you to understand something, and try, really, really try. Giving Jeremy a taste of his own medicine does not include what has been happening to him, okay? Mass flagging his social media accounts, false flagging his YouTube accounts, taking pictures of his house and mentioning how flammable it looks, taking pictures of his wife and saying, "She's so pretty, I hope she stays that way." Jeremy has done none of this! You're not giving him a taste of his own medicine, and you fail to see it, so all I can assume from that is you're a moron. And on top of that, you're taking Reddit threads as proof. Let me clue you in on something here, Stelios. Reddit, especially the magic subreddit, hate Jeremy. And they have hated Jeremy for years. What you're doing is taking the mob's word that something is wrong. But I understand your ideology is more important than the actual truth. So let's move on. Again, Lo-Fi. I thought I took screen caps of stuff without her in it, but I guess I was wrong. Now, Lo-Fi says, "I'm not defending what got Jeremy banned." Which a lot of us don't. We understand. Jeremy should have been banned. Not a lifetime ban, but he should have been banned. Maybe a year. I'm not defending what got Jeremy banned. I am saying that that equal justice. So he got banned for what he did. That's fine. But MTG clearly takes sides in people's political opinion, and even if those people did the same as Jeremy, aka broke the rules, why are they not banned? An excellent question, Lo-Fi. Perfectly put. I wouldn't have been able to say it better myself. Stelios, in his brilliant wisdom, states something so stupid that it bears repeating. No one has committed what Jeremy has yet, so you can't compare. When they reach the level of ludicrous he did, and they don't get banned, we can talk then. I'm going to say it again. Cognitive dissonance! What about Darth Malber? Toxic MTG? Anyone else that is direct harassment and threats to Jeremy and his wife? They're not banned. Travis Wu is banned because he defended Jeremy. 30 other players are still banned because they took part in a private Facebook group. The obviousness of WotC's taking sides is right there in front of you, but you are too blind to see it. Now, this one is great. I'm just leaving it by itself. He's talking to Jeremy directly. Stelios says to Jeremy, Hambly, because they always have to use his last name. They want to make sure you know who he is, just in case you need to say something. Hambly, I say this from the bottom of my heart. Go fuck yourself. When you get there, keep going until you come full circle and keep going. You sack of shit human being. You are a cancer on this community, and I am glad you are banned. Enjoy purgatory. Adding value to the MTG community. Defending the honor of people who don't need defending. Stelios, Oh my God. You, sir, have no idea how foolish you look. You have no idea how retarded you are. These are the people that are defending wizards in action. These are the ones that are saying the information coming from Jeremy should be ignored. Anyone in support of unsleeved media or Travis Wu is just not the kind of people any community wants. MTG deserves better. This last one comes from a judge, and it was after he gave a call out to Jeremy's followers, calling them all basement-dwelling mama boys, and that there's no way anyone could prove him wrong. Jacob Fusco. Hey all, it has been brought to my attention that this series of videos exists in response to some comments that were made on Twitter regarding my stance on MTG headquarters revealing information about Magic judges. You know, the information about the judges who have been convicted of, owning child porn, distributing child porn, molesting minors, underage sex with minors, statutory rape, sexual assault, having sex with their teenage students, that public information. These last couple of days has been difficult, and this is really the last thing I need. If you could, please report the video. If you watch it and don't want to, then don't. No hard feelings or anything. Just need a little help from the community on this one. Many thanks in advance. Now, if you can tell in the lower left-hand corner, the person who was responding to this and took this screen cap responded with the laughing emoji, because Jacob's a moron. Now, that video is not from Jeremy. That's from MTG Lion, which I need to thank in advance for some of the things that he's done for the fourth and possibly final installment of this wonderful series that I've been going through, which has made me regret spending as much money as I have on this hobby. I'm starting to see a trend here with the progressives, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. They want to silence everyone that they don't like. It's been that way for a while. I've been calling it out for years. I am now starting to get a platform, and this platform I'm going to speak from until they force me to shut up, and even then I will start a new one and I will do it all over again. Defending Wizards of the Coast and their decision to say that all of this was misinformation and that none of this is actually happening is dumbfounding. Because there's a number that I have in my head and that most of you have in your head that is an okay percentage to have child molesters in a children's card game. Now for me, that number is 0%. Not 0.001, not 1%, not 20%. 0%. And I'm pretty fucking sure everyone else is on the same page. Here, I'll put this in a different way. I have a question for you all. Jacob, Matthew, Commanderin, and Stelios. Would you let one of these judges watch your children? Since you believe that this is a conspiracy, that this is not real, that this is misinformation, and that Jeremy is making it up, would you 100% let them watch your children? Would you let them be in a position of power over them? I'm pretty sure that your answer is no. And if your answer is no, that means you at least have some sense and giving some credence to what is going on. You are just letting your ideology blind you. You are letting your hatred for someone blind you to what is going on. Do you want to be the person that says oops at the wrong time? I know I sure as fuck don't want to be that person. So take this for what it is. You have someone you don't like giving you evidence of something even worse. Maybe, just maybe, you should probably take what he says to heart. It's only a conspiracy as so long as things do not start adding up. WotC waited way too long to make a statement, and then they pull this bullshit of having 5 tweets. Not even an actual press release. Not even something that comes directly from the company. It was from someone's personal Twitter profile. So they had plausible deniability. People like Stelios, who are true bastions of valor of the white knighthood and protecting his games from wrongthink. These morons are the ones that are going to be the gatekeepers. These idiots have their own purity tests. They don't like when you attack pillars of the community. Jeremy was one of those pillars, and to watch what everyone else has done to him because he stood up for what he said, he stood up for his own principles, is disgusting. And that right there is a little taste of what's coming next. I have one more video in me about this, and then I'm done. I stated on Twitter that I'm pissed and that I'm no longer going to be playing nice. What I meant by that is this. Wedge, the Professor, and the Manalik, since you three have taken an absolute zero stance on anything that is going on, except where it came to you, to quote one of the most dominant forces in World Championship Wrestling in the 90s. You're next. And those are my thoughts, folks. I'd love to know yours. Please let me know in the comments. If you like what I do here, please hit like, share, and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, hit that little bell icon so you know when I upload. If you'd like to support the channel, there are 2 links down below. One leads to Patreon, where there are different reward tiers that you can peruse, and the other is for PayPal, for those who don't want to go through Patreon. All of the links to follow me on all of the social medias, including my Discord, are down below. So with all that being said, this has been Help for the Guildless. My name, once again, is Antoine, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.